Ever since I started watching One Strange Rock on Netflix, I understood the fragility and wonder of our magnificent planet. And I learned that every decision I make on how I choose to live my life matters to the health of this earth. Every single one of us, including those who will come after us, will feel the consequences that climate change has brought and will continue to bring about in our planet, especially those here in Utah who can bear witness to the heavy pollution in the air and the inversions that our fat valleys face periodically. When that series came out back in 2018, I decided to do some further research on the topic of climate change. You see, I am no politician or person of power, but I wanted to know if there was any way in which I could contribute in taking a step in the right direction and making a change in the environment. I watched countless TED Talks, researched many websites, and got to a point where I actually finally understood the science behind climate change. You see, I wanted to fully comprehend what it meant for me to take a change in my life and that could benefit the welfare of this planet. All of us have a duty in playing a part, regardless of how big or how small it might be, in order to improve the impact we individually have on our environments. In this speech, I will talk about how we can reduce our individual carbon footprint through our diet, transportation, and reducing our plastic footprint to improve the health and well-being of our planet. Our diets have a huge impact on the environment. One of the biggest ways that we can improve our environment is by cutting back on meat and animal products that we consume. Natasha Gilbert from the Nature International Weekly Journal of Science says that about one-third of our greenhouse gas emissions comes from agriculture alone. So, by reducing our regular intake and limiting our beef and pork consumptions to perhaps to only a few times a week, it can do this planet some serious good. Another problem that we seem to face is the waste of food that we purchase. Feeding America states that 72 billion pounds of food is wasted each year in the United States. It is essential for us to learn how to not waste food. And a few ways that we can do that is by sticking to a budget, making a grocery list, and curating a meal plan. It won't only ensure that we don't overpurchase food, but it can also improve our diets in a healthy way and help us save money. Learning how to store and preserve our food correctly will also ensure that we use as much of it before it spoils. If we waste less food by only purchasing what we need, then there will be a smaller demand on the products, leading to a smaller production from agricultural farms and thus reducing our individual carbon footprint. Another way that we can reduce our carbon footprint is by way of transportation. Since transportation forms a large part of carbon emissions, which is about 29% here in the United States according to Recycling Across America, skipping out on car rides to places that can easily be walked to or ridden your bike to can seriously decrease the carbon footprint. Not only is it free to walk or ride your bike on your own once you own one, it's also healthier for you in keeping a balanced lifestyle and it can save hundreds of dollars on gas. But some of you might say that those options aren't sustainable. However, you can always look into public transportation or even carpooling as other ways to reduce your own carbon footprint. And last but not least, plastic. The United States Environmental Protection Agency states that, without exception, recycling is the top action society needs to take to simultaneously improve the environment, the economy, sustainable manufacturing, and to prevent waste from going into our oceans. A big problem that the United States faces is that many citizens don't know the correct way to recycle certain materials. So it's essentially important for all of us to understand how we can reduce our own waste of plastic. Learning to live with less plastic is the first step to take when it comes to consciously trying to change the way society views our own usages of this material. According to Sherry Brooks Vinton from Foodprint Organization, this can be done in many simple ways, such as bringing your own reusable water bottles everywhere you go, or even bringing your own bags to the grocery store when you go shopping. And what's even more important is remembering to refuse plastic packaging and cutlery at restaurants. There are just a few small ways and simple ways that you can start. Sometimes it might be hard to actively remember to do these things. For me, it took a really long time, and sometimes it would even slip my mind to tell the server at a restaurant to please not bring me a straw. There will be hiccups on this journey that you choose to go on when you're trying to improve the environment's health, but don't let those keep you from continuing the chase of this change. I want you all to remember that it is up to all of us to work together collectively in improving our surrounding environments by modifying our diets, by lowering greenhouse gas emissions, reducing our carbon footprint through transportation, and decreasing our planet's plastic footprint through more sustainable methods. And remember that all of us have a duty in playing a part, no matter how big or small, in order to improve the impact that we have on our environment. So I ask you, what will you do for your planet? Make sure to take action today, and please don't wait until tomorrow.